Hunter, evolution of a label. As human society has evolved, so has our identity. As an extension, this has affected how hunter can be used to describe identity. I am a hunter, but not like our ancestors. The label of hunter and the aspect of a person's identity it is has evolved with our society. The lens I use to analyze the evolution of hunter as an identity is through James Gee's N, I, D, and A identity categories. The pertinent categories that depict the evolution of hunter are Gee's natural and affinity group identities. A natural identity is an identity that is defined by nature or natural forces. Homo sapiens is a natural identity label, its force derived from DNA. An affinity group identity is an identity that is defined by the common actions of a group. Soccer players are an affinity group identity. Humans have very humble beginnings. Thousands of years ago, we lived in small nomadic groups who scavenged, foraged, and fought to survive. We were hunter-gatherers. We killed animals for food and other humans who competed with us. Hunting was how we survived. It was natural and in our DNA to do so. Hunting was an N identity. But about 12,000 years ago, this began to change. As the cognitive, agricultural, and industrial revolutions unfolded, the importance of hunting diminished. As our abilities to grow and raise our own food progressed, the label began to change. Its importance diminished. It was losing its natural force. Progressing through history to the early 20th century, hunter had become barely recognizable as an N identity. No longer was a hunter one who hunted to survive. Hunting was for sport or commercial gain. Only certain people were hunters, defined by their actions. Hunting had now largely become an A identity. Now it is even more so. Its N identity aspect is but a minute vestige of what it once was. This has happened because of the increasing distance between us and our food sources. Many layers of industry and business now separate the average human, especially in the developed world, from his or her food supply. Our ability to grow and raise our food has become so effective, efficient, and reliable that many people go their entire lives without killing an animal for their own consumption. Hunter was once an important descriptor of a human as an N identity, but has been reduced to a simple A identity. This change has been accompanied by a change in its connotation. As a hunter myself, I know hunters are a respectful, thoughtful, compassionate, and rule-abiding group. We can count Theodore Roosevelt and Dwight Eisenhower among our ranks. But we are rarely portrayed this way in the media. This false portrayal that encircles hunting is driven by misconceptions from animal rights activists and permeates our culture. We are depicted as heartless, bloodthirsty, cruel, and lawless monsters. This is far from true. Hunting is tightly regulated by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and all students in hunter safety courses are taught the ethical code of hunting. The first rule any hunter learns in a hunter safety course is to hunt fairly and humanely. We take only accurate, effective shots. We are not heartless or cruel people who enjoy watching animals suffer. We also are tightly regulated on what we can kill through strict quotas and lottery systems. We are not bloodthirsty, nor are we lawless, and as a hunter myself, I know these truths personally. But the evolution of hunting from an N identity to an A identity, brought about by a revolution of providing for ourselves, has given way to confusion, misinterpretation, and malicious misrepresentation. I am a hunter. We are a compassionate and law-abiding group who value animals' lives as much as animal rights activists do. The media's excoriation of Walter Palmer epitomizes the flawed ad hominem arguments against hunters. It saddens and angers me that we are portrayed this way. It ignores and betrays our past and misinforms the public of our intentions and values. Our affinity group identity is mischaracterized and the N identity aspect of our identity is minimized. The label hunter may no longer be much of an N identity, but that does not mean that since it is now largely an A identity, that our actions are cruel or inhumane. Natural predators take no such measures as we do to ensure a quick and painless death for an animal. As a contemporary hunter, I understand the ways in which hunting has evolved. I appreciate how hunting is still a small but consequential part of humanity's identity, and I try to embrace it. I'm proud to be a hunter.